Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about staying positive and different things that I do that help me. You are the sum of what you consume. So this means people you hang out with, things you watch on TV, anything you listen to, anything you read, anything at all. This even is the food that you put in your body. So you are the sum of that. So if you are consuming things that are like I was saying, you are the sum of what you consume. So this is everything from what you eat, what you watch, what you hear, people you surround yourself with, what you read, everything. And so with that being said, it's super important that you try to consume things that are positive. And this is even healthy foods. So I know that sounds like, well, what does that have to do with having a healthy mindset? But if you think about it, if you're eating things that are like super over processed, the nutrients in that are dead, so it's not really doing much for you. Where if you eat more fresh stuff, the more alive and the more like real what you're eating is, and the less processed and things, then the healthier you're gonna be. And so that can also go over into your mindset and just being positive and things. So I think that's really important. Also, of course, things like your what you're watching on TV. So if you think about it, you know, a lot of us watch like reality shows or things that are drama or whatever, where there's like this whole thing that's like a negative thing happening, and you know, it's entertaining. I mean, let's be honest, it is entertaining, but all that kind of stuff is still like negative energy. And so that's bringing you down. Like that's putting that into your mind. The same thing if you have friends that are people who gossip about other people or just always are negative and like that, that's not great. Same thing what you consume with listening, reading, anything like that. So I'm not saying don't consume these things and don't hang out with negative people, because, you know, sometimes we, number one, enjoy watching things that might be drama. Also, sometimes we have friends or family members who are going through things where they need our support, and that's not their typical, you know, attitude of how they are. But sometimes, you know, we have to be there for people whenever they're going through things as well. But what you can do is, you know, if you're aware that you're going to have to be in a situation where it's going to be somewhat negative, or that, you know, you want to watch like this show that's like kind of a trash TV show, try to be aware whenever you're consuming that and do it in small doses. The same thing with like junk food. You know, who doesn't love French fries, you know, or something like that, where we know it's not healthy, but it's good, and you do it in small doses. You're not going to only have your diet be, you know, French fries. So the same thing, you don't want your only like mental diet to be negative. So if positivity and things like this are something that you're into, check out my mindset planners. I'll link them for you guys, but it has a lot of things that can just help you kind of track how you're feeling and how you want to feel, track things that are triggering you, and help you to make better decisions in the future and help you bring more positivity. I created these with all of the things that I learned in therapy for PTSD for the past several years, and also just things that I have used over the years to try to help me make it through abuse and all the things that were not great. So check them out. I'll link them for you guys. So another thing you can do is give yourself grace. So giving yourself grace is whenever you know, like, man, I just need to go lay down, or like, I'm just not here today, whatever it is, and you can give yourself grace and say, you know what, it's okay, you tried, and it's okay to say that, you know, I'm gonna go lay down and take a nap, or I'm gonna go relax and read, or whatever, or put your phone on do not disturb, anything like that. Give yourself grace. Just be understanding with yourself. A lot of us struggle with invisible disabilities, and so sometimes that grace is something that we need more than other people, and we try to hold ourselves to other people's standards because we don't want to be perceived as being lazy or whatever, you know, and it's kind of hard to navigate. But just understand that you're doing the best that you can, and try really hard to understand whenever you need a break and give yourself that. Ooh, this is a good one. Trying to trick yourself into being positive. Oh my gosh. Okay, so once again, I'm going to put a disclaimer here. Don't do this to other people. So if someone says they don't want to do something, don't do what I'm about to tell you to do to them. This is only for you internally. So let's say, this is a great example. I think everyone experiences this, where we're laying in bed at night and we're almost asleep and we have to pee, right? I think that happens to so many people. And, you know, your first thought in your head is you're irritated, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to pee right now. I don't want to get up. I'm so comfortable. Like it's what you know, it's how you feel. But if you can switch that into, you know, I'm thankful that my body is telling me that I need to do something. I'm thankful that I have, you know, indoor plumbing where I can go to the bathroom in the house and I don't have to walk out like it's, you know, the 1700s into an outhouse or a hole in the ground. So this goes a lot further than just going to the bathroom. That's just a really simple example of something where you're like, I don't want to do this thing, but I need to do this thing. And I'm irritated about it because I don't want to do it, right? And it's just tricking yourself into having a positive mindset about doing things. You know, like if you get thankful for the things like that, it kind of reframes your mind into a gratitude standpoint, and this can carry on over into other things. And that's why this one's important, is because if you reframe the little things that you don't want to do, then whenever there are bigger things that are maybe not great, then it's a lot easier for you to get to that gratitude and like finding the good in the situation standpoint, rather than if you don't do this at all. So that's why I think these little bitty steps, like catching yourself feeling like something's irritating and reframing it. Obviously, you can totally gaslight yourself with this, so don't do it with things that would be like sketchy or not okay situations, stuff like that. Like, you know, use it with caution, I guess, and don't ever do this to someone else. Another thing is meditation, which I've touched on this recently in another video, my morning routine, but meditation's huge for me, and it's something that was extremely difficult for me to do at first. Like the first time I started trying to meditate, really, it was whenever I was in therapy, and my therapist, you know, he suggested it. He told me like different things I could listen to that were guided meditations, and then whenever I went back to his office the next week or whatever, he was like, did you meditate? And I was like, no. He was like, okay, we're going to practice meditation today together, you know, just for a minute before you leave. And y'all, it made me so uncomfortable. And I didn't tell him it made me uncomfortable. And what that did is, number one, I didn't meditate that day like I was supposed to with him, because I couldn't. Like, I was just sitting there thinking to myself how weird it was. But whenever I got home, I really did start trying to meditate, because I never wanted to have to do that with him again. And I knew in order for me to heal and get what he was trying to get me to do, I knew I needed to follow the steps that he was telling me. And so I knew, yeah, I could tell him I meditated and not, but that's not going to help me. And that would just be, you know, short selling myself, and I don't want to do that. So I decided from that moment that basically whenever I got home, I was going to try to meditate like every day, no matter what. And I tried, and I wasn't good at it, and that's okay, but you have to start somewhere, and just putting the intention there and actually taking the time to try to. I think I started out doing like 5-minute meditations, which is really not long at all. Like the whole entire thing, from the point where they tell you you're, you know, to like sit down and start listening to your breath, and if there's a mantra to the end, was like a total of 5 minutes. So it's very short. So typically my meditations now are between 15 to 25 minutes, just depending on how much I need. But I really recommend meditating. That's something I like to start my day with if I can, because I just find that it really helps me to be peaceful and just kind of centered in what I need rather than what the world needs from me. So I mean, we're all just energy anyway, so positive energy is going to attract more positivity, negative energy is going to attract more negativity. So, you know, just keep that in your mind, I guess. Like, positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative, and try to be positive more times than not, so that you can attract more positivity and less negativity. So another thing I like to do is try to write down a positive thought or a positive something and set it as a reminder on my phone to go off. You know, having that pop up on my phone at a certain time every day is great, because sometimes you need that and you're like, oh yeah. But any positive mantra that you can think of, that would be awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I hope this was super helpful for you. Leave a comment, let me know how you stay positive, and we will talk to you soon. Bye guys.